The woman's hand shot across the armrest like a bolt of lightning, yanking her burgundy handbag from the seat between them. "Do not touch my bag," she hissed through clenched teeth, her eyes hidden behind dark sunglasses that did little to hide the disdain in her voice. The black man she scolded stood frozen for a split second, his brows raised in disbelief. He had been about to sit down, just reached to adjust the misplaced bag so he could settle into the seat assigned to him. But now every pair of eyes nearby turned toward him. Murmurs followed. Disapproval, judgment, yet none directed at her. Before we continue, if you are watching our video for the first time, you're highly welcome to Elliot Stories. Please bless and support us by hitting that subscribe button. Turn on your notification bell to get notified for more edifying stories coming your way tomorrow and never to miss any. Share to friends who love stories filled with twist and morals and loved ones who loves respect and justice no matter the cost. Where are you watching from? Please tell us in the comments. We love seeing how far our story travels. To our loyal viewers, cherished subscribers, lovely first-timers, and consistent supporters, thank you for being a vital part of our journey. Let's dive deep into this unbelievable story. He stood tall in his tailored navy blue suit, phone still pressed against his ear. For a moment, he said nothing. Then, with poise that contrasted the hostility surrounding him, he gently lowered the phone from his ear and slipped it into his pocket. "Excuse me," he said calmly. "You left your bag on my seat." The woman scoffed. "Your seat? Are you sure you're in the right cabin?" She scanned him from head to toe with her chin slightly raised, as if his very presence offended her. The stewardess approached, alerted by the rising tension. "Is there a problem here?" she asked. The woman turned to her as though salvation had arrived. "This man is harassing me. I don't feel safe with him here." The stewardess turned to him, her tone sharpening. "Sir, may I see your boarding pass?" Without a word, he handed it over. She glanced at it, blinked, and looked up again. "Yes, this is your seat. Apologies for the confusion." The woman's face twitched, then quickly settled into a smug, unbothered expression. "Still," she muttered, clutching her bag tightly, "you don't touch a lady's things. Doesn't matter what your seat says." He didn't argue. He simply nodded, sat down beside her, and pulled out his phone again. The woman shifted in her seat as though contaminated, exaggerating every movement. A few passengers chuckled quietly. Others shook their heads. Still, no one intervened. The plane took off smoothly, but the cabin air was tense. 2 rows behind them, a teenage girl whispered to her mother, "Why did she treat him like that?" Her mother shushed her. The man opened his laptop briefly, typed something, and shut it again. Then he made a single call. His voice was low, composed. "Ground Fleet 7 for 30 minutes. Security protocol." A short silence, then he added, "Yes. This aircraft." He ended the call. 35 minutes into the flight, the captain's voice crackled over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, we regret to inform you that due to an unexpected administrative directive, we'll be making an emergency return to our departure airport. We apologize for the inconvenience." Gasps spread through the cabin. "What's happening?" passengers asked. "Is something wrong with the plane?" The woman beside him grew pale. "Why are we turning back?" she asked, not to him, but to no one in particular. He remained silent, eyes on the clouds outside. The plane landed smoothly. As it came to a stop, 2 ground staff members boarded with an air of urgency. One of them, a senior executive with a badge labeled Corporate Compliance and Dignitary Liaison, walked straight down the aisle. "Mr. Elijah Grant." He raised a hand politely. "Yes. Sir, we've made the necessary arrangements. The incident you reported has been logged. Would you like to deplane now or continue on a different aircraft?" Now, murmurs turned to stares. A few passengers widened their eyes. "Who is this guy?" Elijah stood slowly, finally turning to the woman beside him. "I run Grant International Holdings," he said plainly. "We acquired controlling shares of this airline 3 weeks ago." The woman's eyes twitched. Her mouth fell open, then closed again, only to open once more. I didn't know." "You didn't ask." The passengers were dead silent. He turned to the executive. "Let's get everyone a meal voucher. A proper one. And issue a formal apology to every black passenger on this flight. Starting with the young girl in 14C. She asked the right question." The executive nodded and motioned for the cabin crew to start relaying the directive. Elijah looked around slowly before leaving. "We're done tolerating subtle disrespect masked as discomfort. No one should have to shrink themselves just to fly in peace. He exited the aircraft. Passengers exchanged embarrassed glances. The woman who had mocked him sat stunned, clutching her bag like a shield. The same stewardess returned with her voice gentler now. We've been directed to offer you complimentary deplaning assistance should you choose to leave now. No, she said faintly. In the airport terminal, word had already spread. Staff stood straight, eyes alert, respectful. No more smirks. No more assumptions. Later that day, the airline issued a public statement. We sincerely apologize for the disrespectful treatment experienced by Mr. Elijah Grant and any passengers affected by this incident. It does not reflect the inclusive values we strive to uphold. Immediate corrective training will be conducted across all levels. We thank Mr. Grant for his composure and leadership in setting an example of justice served with grace. Online, the video went viral. A passenger had quietly recorded the incident and uploaded it with the caption, "She judged him by his skin. Didn't know she was talking to the boss of the skies." The comments exploded. This is why humility matters. Respect should never be based on assumption. Kudos to Elijah Grant for handling this with dignity. In the days that followed, the airline saw a surge in bookings, not because of a scandal but because of a restored sense of justice and safety among black travelers. And that woman, she trended for all the wrong reasons. She deleted her social accounts. But more importantly, she sat with herself, wondering how many more times her prejudice had silenced the truth. As for Elijah, he never spoke much about that flight again. He didn't need to. His silence was its own kind of justice. But one thing changed forever. On every future flight, across all their aircrafts, a small card now sat tucked beside each tray table. It read, "Respect is the seatbelt of society. Buckle it up, everywhere you go." This story was humbly crafted and brought to you by Elliot Stories. Catch you on the next one.